welcome back to another episode of Analog Man Podcast. And this is what I've been waiting for. Joe Rogan show is going to have Wes Huff on. Like I said, if you guys don't know who Wes Huff is, a biblical scholar, scribal scholar, working on his PhD. Recently had a back and forth with Billy Carson and just completely shut him down. Billy Carson was on Joe Rogan previously, and he's a pseudoscientist. Is in the realm of science fiction, I guess. Billy Carson has a following, and I guess you got to see the whole drama. There's been a lot of back and forth. He's trying to sue Wes Huff, and basically the guy's been called out as being a charlatan. Now, Joe Rogan has given him a big platform, and he reaches obviously a very large audience. And so this is the first time that I know of an actual biblical scholar whose career and life is focused specifically on this subject that's going to be on Joe Rogan, and that's going to reach a very large group of people. And we're going to see what Wes Huff talks about. It. He's probably going to talk a lot about the gospel, but this is going to be a full coverage. We're going to go right in, and yeah, we're going to watch this whole thing together. It's going to be a long one. I'm going to have to do a battery swap. That'll be probably the only thing that I edit here. So without talking too much, let's pull up Joe Rogan.
By day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Wes, very nice to meet you.
Joe, pleasure.
So I, like many people, was introduced to you because of the debate that you had with Billy Carson.
Quote unquote.
You know, it's one of those things where it's very unfortunate when people get caught with their pants down. And I'm not an expert in many things, but the things that I am an expert on, you could wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and ask me about those things. And I go, oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
I know. Like martial arts or comedy, I could give you an expert version of reality. It seems like he does not have that, and he is a wonderful talker, and it's a lot of fun. I like watching his videos. I love all that ancient history stuff, and even the most ridiculous tinfoil hat aspects of ancient. It's fun.
It's entertainment.
But I know that there's a difference. Like Andrew Schultz and I had a discussion about this. Like he said when he had Billy on the podcast, he said, we're not going to fucking research anything. We're not going to search anything. We're not going to do anything. We'll just let him talk because it's fun.
Yeah.
Andrew's awesome. But when he was on with you, it was quite apparent that you are an actual expert in the Bible and in many religious texts, and that he didn't necessarily have the facts straight. So
yeah.
What was the fallout of all of that?
Well, it's interesting you say the expert thing, because I literally was asked to do it 24 hours beforehand. So I had like the least amount of preparation going into it. And I was okay with that because I'd listened to Billy Carson. Well, and I listened to the stuff he'd said. So I knew enough about the ways that he'd articulated things about the ancient Near East and the Bible and Christianity to know enough that his level is pretty surface. But the fallout was that not only did he not want us to release the conversation, but then he started throwing out cease and desist letters. And then he started, trying to sue people. So, I mean, I was never worried because I'm a Canadian, and
Joe Rogan is so big, he knows his audience is so large that this is now going to reach that large audience. Do you think Wes Huff made a good representation of himself? I think he did. I think he stayed within his lane and what he's knowledgeable about. I don't think he really, expressed his faith as much as he did the work that he does as far as historics and the archaeology based stuff. And then Joe Rogan's questions were really interesting. His pushback questions. This is an amazing thing. I think this is an amazing moment for Christians and Christianity because people are going to see this, and there's going to be some people that were on the fence or doubted, and they're going to lean towards Wes Huff. And there may be some people that don't, they'll lean some other direction. But in this day and age, with this platform, this message is going to resonate and reach so many people. This podcast is going, it's going to go viral. It's going to have a huge response, and the topic and the conversations are going to be fleshed out. Yeah, I think it's really, it's a really interesting time, a really interesting conversation. And, I was just going to do, this one was full on reaction, let them talk, little reaction so you guys know I'm here. I'll put this one out for those who just want to watch the full thing. And then after that, I'll condense it into a highlight for maybe like a 30-minute episode of Analog Man Podcast, just because some people don't want to watch 3 hours. But I can't do much more, man. My battery's died a few times, but my internal battery's dying as well. So I really enjoyed this. I learned some things I'm going to look up, some things I knew, and some things I expected. But I thought it was a really good conversation. And if you guys like this kind of content, I appreciate you guys coming here. I appreciate you guys sharing, subscribing. It really helps me out, putting in the effort. If you guys can subscribe, leave a comment, your boy the Wolfhound will really appreciate it.